The question that gets asked is, how do I control my distance and the feel of a putt? Now, it comes back to one of the things that I've always been an advocate of, which is that you play golf through science and gain the feel. You don't play through feel and hope that the science is correct. That's an old adage of Homer Kelly golfing machine. But I've really filtered that down into my putting. Now, I've got the Capto system here set up. I'm going to show you a couple of things. If you're going to control distance, you need to control stroke length, the same distance back and forwards, there or thereabouts. And you also need to control the speed that the putter's travelling. If you're putting with too much acceleration past the ball, you're going to get the jumper, or you're going to get the one with a bit of loft or a bit of launch, and you're going to see the ball skidding along, and it won't really control at distance. If you also decelerate, you're going to get the dead strike, and your hands also play a big part of manipulating what the putter's doing. If you're equal distance backwards and forwards and you're constant with your speed, the hands generally stay out of the equation to a certain extent. There is a role for the hands within the putting stroke, but a limited role. The other thing that I really want to talk about is that the acceleration of the putter shouldn't be through the ball. So people, old-fashioned coaching, I believe that I've heard a lot of people come to me and say that my pro, or I've been told or I've heard that you need to hit through the putt, or never up, never in. Not necessarily true. You don't really hit through the putt, because if you're hitting through the putt, you're applying force. You've got muscle spasms or you've got rotations. So that's one of the things that Capto picks up beautifully. When you're putting, you apply speed back and then a constant speed through. It's something that you, and to really sort of highlight that pendulum, or that theory, or that practice, is that if you look at a pirate ship at a fun fair, there's force applied to accelerate the pirate ship away to a point where it stops. Then it accelerates down, goes at a constant speed through the baseline, then it starts to decelerate before it comes back up to a stop again. That's true pendulum. So the stop point, force applied, speed applied, acceleration, constant, stop. So what you're finding is that past that point, or the low point of the putt, or the baseline of the putt, it's no longer accelerating. You don't want that travelling and accelerating past that point. You want the putt to have done all its work and to have gained all its speed just before contact or strike, and then you want the rotation to come to a stop. So it's really important. So I'm going to do a few putts here. I'm going to hit a couple of putts, try and pick up some data. I want to show you what a hard acceleration through the ball looks like on Capto. So distance control is not governed by hitting through the putt. I'm going to show you this one. So a couple of things here that I love this with Capto. It's really good information. You see the acceleration graph here, handling and trembling at the bottom here. So you've got rotation and you've got muscle spasms to apply force. So what that looks like here, look, so this is the top of the backstroke, that yellow line, and then just as you come into impact here, which is the orange line at the end of the screen, there's loads of red and yellow lines there, which is showing me that 23% of the stroke, there's some form of adverse sort of muscle movements that you don't want, and you'll see here it shows up as a value down here, and 8% of that stroke was quite severe. But then the other thing as well, we're going to the speed profile, and we'll see that the green line is a green line that you're generally tending to try and follow as an ideal. But this is where the putter from the top of the backstroke into impact, you want that to start to taper down. That's a constant speed as it's coming back into impact. There's no more acceleration. It's starting to taper off. But I've got my putter accelerating here, which is the blue line and the yellow line, just at impact. That's no good. So let's have a little look at a couple more putts. Something I didn't really show you there, 22 centimetres back, 31 centimetres forward, so I wasn't even equal distance. I've done that on purpose because I was trying to demonstrate a stroke length to you. So let's try and equal that out. Let's do one more. try and get one more that picks up a little bit more information. Here we go. So I've done quite a few putts there. You see the, I don't know if you can see the groupings, quite nice. But we go back to that last putt that I've just hit, and we're gonna see shape quality there of 88, the stroke length there 37 back, 36 through, pretty equal distance. As I'm starting my downstroke, it's coming down, tapering down quite nicely, that there's no acceleration at the point of impact. I know that's going to control distance quite nicely. The shape quality there being 88%, but also it's showing me some other factors. There's some things in here that now we can go to town on and start to work on, which is taking out the value of what the hands are doing at impact, or just prior to impact. We don't want no rotations or releases of the hands. So again, coming back to how do we control distance and how do we gain feel, it's going to be pretty much from using the chest, equal distance, and not necessarily applying force to the ball, but applying some force backwards in the stroke and keeping that at a constant.